and and that's a good point. The only reason why the Manhattan Project existed was because they were going to scare the world population after the war with this mythical, mysterious weapon. I think they described atomic science as like taking a piece of the sun and putting it here on the earth, and that mankind had attained this, uh, this otherworldly power, of this heavenly power of the sun, and we were able to strike any place we wanted to on earth with it. And I'm here to tell you that it's all just a myth. I mean, the American government has firebombs, and they can do horrendous damage. These phosphorus bombs can, but that's all they got. They don't have an atomic bomb. They don't have a
Yeah.
nuclear bomb, and it's and so
Yeah, I will add to that because when I studied the history of science, and
mhm,
nuclear physics and stuff like the quantum mechanics, I look at it from a perspective that all those scientific theories about particles and stuff like that, they were invented few years before those events of the Second World War, and I think those science which are fake sciences because they have nothing that are not real, those particles, those kinds of, they say that during the nuclear explosion you have these chains of events that one particle, you know
yeah,
that one particle touches another, and I mean that this whole kind of nonsense. And but I think that was the science was also set up for people to believe it, because from a scientific perspective and engineering perspective, of course, I like I told you once, that also is bullshit, right? So they make these science guys look like very smart, and but that's all mathematical trickery in the end. So that's
yeah,
how this science was, the physics was even set up for that. So that's a complicated for some people to understand, that even those quantum mechanics stuff, and Einstein, the scam, that was his story. That whole thing was set up for faking out the whole humanity. I think that people don't realize how big the lie is. So yeah,
yeah.
that's the problem.
The bigger the lie, the better it works. Isn't that what? Yeah, that's what the Germans would say. And yeah, people say, "Well, Phil, how could you be so against science?" Well, science is not a united community. In fact, back in 1940, science was divided into two camps. You had the Einstein camp, and you had the anti-Einstein camp. And there were a lot of scientists who signed a petition protesting against Einstein, saying that he was a fraud, and Nikola Tesla was one of them, saying that Einstein is a fraud. So what happened is after the war, we put Einstein at the top and made him our top scientist, and all those other scientists that were disagreeing with Einstein, they all got relegated into the cellar, into the ash heap of history. And so, no, science is not a unified front, and it has always been. And so, what happened is the bad side of science got the victory in World War II, and so we've been under bad science ever since.
Yeah.
And they've taken over our universities, they've taken over our media, uh, and it's our kids are just getting brainwashed with bad science, and uh, so yeah, we're trying to snap humanity out of this dark age, because I believe that we are in a dark age, and humanity is not advancing. We are not splitting the atom. We are not exploring the stars. We are stalemated, and we're still putting gasoline in our cars. I mean, if the Germans were here, they would laugh at us because we're still putting gasoline in our cars. 80 years after the war, and it's the technology is basically the same. The internal combustion engine is basically the same as it was 80 years ago, and we're stale. The only thing they've done is they put these cell phones in our hands that are monitoring and tracking devices. They know our every location, they know our every thought, and this is just total communism, and with total control over each and every aspect of our lives. It's crazy.